Does affordable housing stand a chance in Coronado? My name is Chris Astelero with Exchange Resources.
I'm Nicole Turner with Cell State Next Gen Realty. Welcome to LEARNin Local Live.
All right, Nicole, happy Friday. Always great to see you.
It's good to see you too, Chris. Today's going to be fun.
It's great. How was your Friday? How's your week been so far?
It's been crazy fun, but that's life. And everything in San Diego, it's like waking up every day is just another day in paradise. So, you really can't complain.
Absolutely. And we have a great show today. We've got this interesting article on Coronado, affordable housing in Coronado. Does that seem a little weird to you, or does that not mesh? Affordable housing in Coronado.
Total spicy topic because there's no match there in my brain at all.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to be with our local influencers to get their insight. I think it's a topic that's going to cause some rumble in our county, definitely.
Yep, exactly. And then we've got a great off-market deal that Martin's going to be presenting to us. Totally. In addition to that, we've got a great event. We've got our event with LEARNin Local Live at the next Tuesday at the Aviera, right? So looking forward to seeing everybody there. We're going to have some great events. We got a great show. Nicole, this is your first time co-hosting. So glad that you're able to take the time out of your day to work with me on this show.
Thank you. I love being a part of this with you. And the coolest thing I think is just being with the like-minded individuals that we continue to bring in to collaborate with us. And like next Tuesday when we're all together, being with those people, it just influences your heart so much to continue to carry that passion out to your clientele, and their success stories are our success always. So always the background of our day.
Absolutely. So welcome and thank you so much for joining me today. So let's go to LEARNin Local Live 101. What is LEARNin Local Live? LEARNin Local Live is a live platform. So please comment, ask your questions during the show. It promotes a lot of great information and engagement throughout the show so that you can be a part of this amazing community. We spotlight real estate professionals. We talk about real off-market deals, and who doesn't want real off-market deals in this time right now in San Diego where the prices are so high. And we also have some really great events that you can attend if you're thinking about building an ADU, fixing and flipping homes, or just wanting to know about first-time homebuyer programs for loans out there. We're going to provide it to you here. More importantly, we're here to educate, to empower, and to inspire you to make the right choices in real estate, to avoid the red flags and avoid the costly mistakes of owning real estate. This show is not only for real estate investors or realtors, it's also for anyone who's intrigued about what's going on in the real estate market right now. Don't believe everything that you read on the internet. We present it to you right here. And you may be wondering, how do we do all of this? Well, we connect, we collaborate, and we create content with all the local area influencers to be able to present all this information to you. These are the movers and shakers of the industry. These are the people who are out there in the front lines, working with buyers, working with sellers, working with escrows and contractors, and dealing with all the challenges that they face today. And we're here to give you real people, real deals in real time. All right. Welcome, everybody. So great to see everybody. How's everybody doing?
Happy Friday.
Awesome. Happy Friday. Ready to rock and roll.
Fantastic. So some of you have been on the show before. Tracy, what's been your experience with LEARNin Local Live?
Oh my gosh, Chris, well, you are the host with the most king of 1031s. So thanks for doing such a great job hosting and just love seeing everybody here. Raphael, Martin, Nicole, and all the guests on the show. I think, it is real time. It's what's happening in the industry. We truly are putting deals together on the show as we speak. And for all the listeners watching, Martin, I love when he presents off-market opportunities that you're not going to hear of anywhere else. So we're here to, like we say, connect, collaborate, and prosper together. And so, yeah, I could ramble on and on, but Martin, what do you think?
Honestly, like I just love coming back to the show every week. The people I meet, the connections we're doing, and honestly, just the service providers in general. Like we're connecting with the best people in the industry, and as a younger agent myself, like this is how you learn, and just being open to receiving as much feedback as possible. In this case, having you guys either vouch for my deals or poke holes in them. That's how we learn. So I love being here every week, and I'm gonna keep coming back.
All
I love
right.
the transparency in your business, Martin.
We try our hardest.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. So without further ado, let's go ahead and meet our local influencers. All right. And the reason why we bring in our local influencers here is because they're here, they're live, and you can connect with them right here on the spot. They're here to provide you the right information so that you can make the right decisions on real estate, on everything related to real estate. So please connect with these people today. I'm Chris Astolero with Exchange Resources, and LEARNin Local Live spotlights me as the local area influencer here in San Diego. If you're an investor that's thinking of selling your investment property and you're faced with a huge tax consequence, it could be anywhere from 30 to 40%. A 1031 tax deferred exchange may be the best route for you. It's been around for over 100 years, but we always recommend to talk to your CPA to determine if it's definitely a benefit to you. However, it's been around and it's helped many millions of investors throughout this time to create more wealth. And we're here to make sure that you're able to get a higher return on your investments, to increase your cash flow, and also to help build a legacy for your families. So I'm a busy individual. I can't create content for myself, but they can do this for you. If you're interested in becoming a part of this community and learning about LEARNin Local Live and being spotlighted as an influencer, we definitely can help you. So this is an example of what they can do for you. Client has lived in the property for at least 2 years, right? And if they sell it, they have the 121 tax exclusion, right? It's either 250,000 or 500,000. But listen to this. If they turn it into a rental property, they've lived in it for 2 years, they turn it into a rental for 2 years, and before year 5, they turn around and sell it, guess what? They have the benefit of both the 121 tax exclusion, the $500,000, and let's say it's a $1.5 million property that they're selling. The first $500,000 of that $1.5 million is tax-free, and the other $1 million, they can roll it into other properties, no tax.
Hey guys, Nicole Turner here with Sell State Next Gen Realty. Thanks for tuning in with us. I am here with our local influencers. I am here at Sell State Next Gen Realty. My superpower is turning client stresses into absolute successes. Last week, I closed a transaction that was bought in 2016. That owner just cashed out, doubled his real estate, and cashed out close to $1 million. That's a great story. There's a lot of that happening right now. You got to tune into that news. Tracy, what's up in your neck of the woods?
Hey, great to be here. Great job, Nicole. So once again, Tracy Hassey, super connector with Type Escrow Services. And I have a question for you all listening. How are you safeguarding your real estate deals from cyber fraud? It's a big deal. It's happening every day. I'm here for you as a resource. Let's connect. Let's talk. Once again, Tracy Hassey, Tycor Escrow Services. We are a Fortune 300 company. So we've got that backing, that financial strength, and the top escrow officers in the industry. So here for you as a resource. Let's rock the show today, and excited to hear from all the influencers here at LEARNin Local Live.
Raphael, your neck of the woods, what's going on?
Pretty good. Raphael Davis, aka the Hard Money Black Belt Mortgage Pro. Glad to be here. I've been on the show before. It's always good to be here, and it's always about the conversation. That's what we want to have. We want to have the conversation, and we want to have it in real time. And I love it. Thank you guys for having me here again today.
Martin, our off-market man, what's going on in your world?
Hey guys, so yeah, for off-market deals, look no further than RMS Real Estate Investments. So my name is Martin Magana, and I'm a wholesaler down here in San Diego and North County. We really pride ourselves in trying to change the stigma behind wholesaling, that not everyone's unethical, untransparent, and just trying to get all the money out of a deal. I'm a licensed agent. Everybody in my company, one of the requisites is to be a licensed agent, and we're just trying to change the name of the game and make sure people win in a way that they feel comfortable wanting to come back and do more deals and maybe work with other wholesalers in the future as well, knowing how to actually navigate that kind of world. So Martin Magana with RMS Real Estate.
That is awesome. Crystal, I'm so excited to spotlight you today and learn more about you and your business. What's going on in your world?
Hey, thank you, Nicole. Really great to be here. So I'm Crystal Hughes with Porchlight Realty and EXP, and I'm also the real estate agent for the secretary for Coronado board of directors. So what we really do is we help bridge the gap for real estate agents and people who want to build wealth and home ownership from where they're at to where they want to go. So it's strategic, and we just really love doing it. So thanks for having me.
Definitely. And John, Mr. Carlsbad, you're here with us today. What's going on up north?
Yeah, hey guys, happy Friday. Mr. Carlsbad, John Nagnos with EXP Realty. We are your one-stop shop for everything residential real estate in Carlsbad for sellers and buyers. We're here to help you out.
There you go. Chris, what's up over there?
You know what? Everything's great here, Chris, with Exchange Resources. If you're interested in definitely buying more investment properties without having to pay those capital gains taxes, I'm the one to answer your questions. So let me know and I'll be here to help you.
Arnold, over there on my left-hand screen. Don't forget to unmute. What's up over there?
Morning. I'm Arnold Chalkford, realtor with Sell State Next Gen Realty. I'm making real estate dreams a reality, one home at a time. Good to be here.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here today. We're going to have a great show today. So glad that you all took some time out of your busy day to join us, this amazing LEARNin Local Live. Nicole, are you ready?
Let's move on to the next segment of the show, LEARNin Local Insights.
Hello, LEARNin Local Insights. I'm Raphael Davis, aka the Black Belt Mortgage Pro, and there's a lot I could say and talk about, but before we do that, let's have a word from today's sponsor of this show.
My name is Patrick Ono. I'm a farmer's insurance agent. I've got many years of insurance and financial services background, and what I can bring to the table is knowledge. The insurance industry has been just as volatile. Things that you thought were normal just a few years ago are no longer normal. Having someone that's on your side with the knowledge and background and able to help, that's what I'm here for. We're here to educate and empower. Hopefully I can bring some of that to you and some of that to the group.
Hey guys, let's get started on talking about our Coronado housing. And Crystal, you're right there in the action place, right? The geographical area of Coronado. What are your guys' insights? We all read the article. And I think the biggest thing, like Chris and I were talking at the beginning, is Coronado and affordability. They just don't match in real estate in San Diego County. So let's talk about that. Crystal, what's your insight there?
Right. So I mentioned I'm the secretary for the Coronado Real Estate Association. So this was a pretty big deal when they introduced the in lieu of fees in April. And I believe it was July 15th, something like that, where they actually said, this is what we're going to propose and do. So since 93, as the article said, it was $7,000. And then they proposed it to go up incrementally. And overall, my thought process on this is that people will continue to potentially build single family homes versus the development to not have to pay that fee, because a lot of the demographic is people who are looking for a vacation home or a second home. And also over 75% of the population through several studies actually only lives there part-time, or they've inherited these houses and they come from Mexico. So with that being said, I think that there is an opportunity still, because the community and the leaders and in the politics, they really do want more affordable housing for entry level. So with that being said, I do think that it's a very unique and niche market, and the city of Coronado, it will be slowly by 2029 catching up with those in lieu of fees up to $55 a square foot.
And this new fee that we're talking about that's being raised, is this for building, development, buying on the resale? What is it?
So it's a development fee per square feet. All right. So what they're looking at is living area per square feet. So how it used to be is that when a developer wanted to build 2 to 4 units, they were paying a flat rate fee of $7,000. Now it will be that these funds will go toward affordable housing. The other option is that they build units that are affordable. Okay, so they can build affordable units in lieu of paying the in lieu of fee, if that makes sense.
A lot of in-lieus there.
Yep. So really quick, Crystal, I read in the article that the city really has only collected like $1.7 million in the course of 30 years, which
since 93.
Right, it's not much, right? That's why they're increasing the fees. But like you said, maybe investors are not going to want to build these multi-units because they're considering this in lieu fee, not in a fee, but a penalty, for not building this this extra housing. And I just think that maybe they're not going to be able to get as much as they anticipated by implementing this in lieu fee. What do you think?
Well, there's different cities, so it's up per the city, right? And so different cities have adopted that fee, and so you're accurate in the assumption that they will potentially go towards single family homes versus having to pay this fee. However, there's still many developments that are happening. There's one right off Orange Avenue, right towards the old ferry landing that has just come up. Stephen Karen Cross and John Bell are working on those. And there were 10 units, and it's taken less than a year to get those. So I think it really just comes down to the developer, their overall goals, and long-term as well. So if they have the funding for it and they have the financial acquisition to do it, then they will. And most likely will be more for a long-term investment, or they have large capital to put down, or many investors included.
Yeah. I think the one positive in Coronado is your price point, right? So, but that's where the affordability factor comes into place. But even when you're in that world, when you look at affordable relative to, like, let's go to the East County, or, I'm out in Campo, for example. So affordability in 2 different geographical areas look very different. And so, like, when I talk affordability in Coronado, I think it was interesting to look at even the lowest list price at $899 right now. That kind of hit me too, like $899 under $1 million on Coronado. Who even thought that was happening, right? What do you see in your rental market out there right now? Do you see a lot of demand? Do you see a lot of housing that's sitting vacant?
As far as, so rentals go, they're low. It's really hard to find anything under about $2,000. So the $899, that's our average sales price in San Diego. So technically that would be affordable, right? So you're right. It's just kind of the demographic of who really wants to purchase. As far as rentals go, there are a lot more Airbnbs, just because people come for vacation and they come for a short-term periods. But during the summer, May through August, September, they're a lot more expensive. So they go from $4,000 a month to up to $25,000 a month. So again, what's affordable, it just depends on the demand. Who's willing to pay $700 a night for a basic room at the Del Hotel? So are the Bayside Coronado next to the Marriott. There are more military there because they do have a lot more sections for rentals in the affordable housing. So if you're looking for something affordable and you want to live in Coronado, I would check out the Bayside condominium complex.
A really quick question for John. John, if you were an investor building units in Coronado and you had to pay this fee, would you lean more towards building those 4 units, or would you just skip that fee and build a house? What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, I would probably skip the fee and just build the house as an investor, honestly. But if I'm doing something long term, I would probably pay the fee and just build out as many properties as I could. Is my just for a long term play.
Yeah. Exactly. And once you've held it for a long term, that in turn, you can do a 1031 exchange and buy more properties with it. So even though those fees are going to be paid by building these units, I mean, there's still definitely an advantage by being able to do a 1031 and buy more properties with that. Arnold,
Yeah.
what's your take on it?
Personally, I build more. It wouldn't matter about the fee. I mean, you just heard what she said. So if you're building and you have the opportunity to, let's say, Airbnb these properties, there's a lot of money to be made there. You hold on to that. Again, we go into a 1031 exchange, and then we go from there, right? So it's about continuing to invest, right? So if we build a single family home, where are we at? Right?
Yeah.
We're sitting on a single family home.
Yeah.
You know, we have 4 units versus 1.
Yeah.
You know, you can also live in one and also, you know, do short-term rental on the other 3, right? And really make some income on it. So there's, I don't think I would be too concerned. I mean, I don't think builders would either with paying those fees.
And I've done Airbnbs for 5 years in Newport Beach. I actually had a company, Newport Getaways, and I ran Airbnbs for 5 years. I never had gray hairs until I ran Airbnbs. I was on call day in and day out, 24/7. I would get those calls in the middle of the night. But when it comes to Coronado, okay, so if the developers build a single family home and they Airbnb it, great. If they do that, it qualifies for a 1031 tax deferred exchange. Instead of building the 4 units and they just Airbnb it, they can still make some really good cash flow in Coronado, because a lot of people want to be in Coronado. So there's just a lot of different takes, a lot of different ways you can skin a cat, right? So whether it be paying the fee on the 4 units or building the house and turning it into an Airbnb, I mean, there's definitely benefits to both.
Right. I think the one thing you can't argue with is location, strategic development. And then the question is always like, how are they passing fees? You know, it's all in the world of investing, the strategy behind it, their cash flow, their expenses, their reserves. Even Mello-Roos, I'm looking at it as like, okay, are we passing through things? What are we going to do? And so it'll be interesting to see how this continues to develop and cause a rumble. I'm sure you have a rumble going on in Coronado right now. And honestly, like, I look at it as the county approach too. So when you look at the county, and a lot of San Diego, California is very loose in the way that we can build, incentives, etc. That also has your developers moving to different areas right now. So it'll be interesting to see how these unfold over the next year.
And we just had a comment, Nicole, commenting on the fact that you're right. Affordability is different everywhere. And John, as far as affordability, right now, I mean, the average price of a rental property in San Diego is about $2,500 versus $4,500 or $4,600 average in Coronado. Right? If you really want to rent, I mean, where would you go? I mean, you can still find a lot of great opportunities to rent in really great areas by the coast in San Diego. But what do you think the reason is why people want to pay such a high price in Coronado and rent in Coronado if it's double the price of San Diego?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, you know, like Nicole said, location. And Coronado is a beautiful, beautiful place. And if you have the opportunity to get into Coronado right now as an owner, I wouldn't hesitate, because the second you own that piece of property, you give yourself leverage and the ability to expand upon it, as opposed to just renting something. So, you know, and if you own equity in a property, it gives you you've got a lot of leverage there, and you've got a lot of, you know, opportunity as well, especially in Coronado, which is beautiful. So I wouldn't hesitate. And right, you know, since we're in a buyer's market right now, still, it's really in the buyer's advantage right now, big time.
That's a good point. Crystal, question for you. What are the investors saying about the significant increase in the in-lieu fees? Have you heard anything? What's been the feedback now that this is going to be implemented and it's going to be a significant fee? What are they saying?
Yeah, there's obviously much consideration into it. So it really just comes down to the bottom line. Does the math work, and how can they make it work? Can you buy a piece of land for $1.7 million to build affordable housing that they have in reserves, right? So that's all that they have. So the developers are looking at coming together to make it happen. How can we negotiate to make it work, and potential additional units, things like that. So ultimately what the developers are talking about is how can we make this work? And again, it's if they can pull the money together, they're absolutely going to do it. Real quick, I wanted to go back to what you asked John about why would people want to live there. It's just like any city, right? Why do they want to live there? What are they drawn to? And so it's luxury. It's absolutely stunning, like you said. And it really just provides a specific type of lifestyle. So you get what you pay for.
That's a very good point, Nicole. If you got the money to do it, then go for it, right?
Yeah.
You have
Really
something to
quick
say, Nicole?
question. I had a question for Arnold really quick. Just looking at the coastline, my thoughts are, we talked a couple of weeks ago about, $30 million profit made right there in La Jolla. So my question to you is, in Coronado, do you see that same kind of trend over the next 10, 20, 30 years?
I do. We talk about this affordable housing, so that's kind of got me, Coronado and affordable housing. It just, my brain's kind of, with that, right? It just doesn't make sense, but in the long run, I guess it does. But I think Crystal put her finger right on the point that we need to talk about. It's numbers, right?
Yeah.
It's really about the numbers. It always comes down to numbers. If it can be done, and it can be done, and there's profit there, the builders will do it, right?
Exactly.
We still have to worry about pushback from the community. If we're talking about affordable housing. So now that we got to address the community on that, because I'm pretty sure your community is going to have some pushback on affordable housing in Coronado, 100%.
Great.
So
John.
really, it's numbers and then addressing the community for me.
Great. Thank you, Arnold. John, what's your last word on this interesting article in Coronado?
Yeah, I think there is an opportunity for affordable housing in Coronado, a small niche one, but I do think there's it's a very tough challenge to conquer, but Coronado is a beautiful place. It offers a wonderful lifestyle. Everybody wants to be there, and housing there is it's incredible, man. So yeah, if
the
people
city
have,
hall.
Yeah. Go ahead, Crystal. Thank you,
Sorry,
John.
I didn't mean to cut you off. You're amazing, John. Just a quick comment. The City Hall in Coronado has their meetings on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. if you ever want to get involved and hear what they're doing and have a voice.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, everybody, thank you all so much for your expertise, your insights. Crystal, being in Coronado and specializing in that area, that's pretty amazing. And there's definitely opportunities where there are fees, there are still opportunities. Right. So thank you so much for your feedback, for your insight on this amazing article. Nicole, let's dive into the next section of the show. Where are we going?
We're heading to the North County with those off-market deals. Let's move into learning local deals.
Hey everybody, again, it's Martin Magana with Honest Real Estate, and like always, I'm here to present you guys another deal, and this is my favorite segment of the show, personally, obviously, because I'm a little biased towards it, but we'll be going to Fallbrook, so a little further up north than Coronado, but let's get started. Alrighty, like always, all of our deals are sponsored by Revolution Capital, and if you ever need anything, lending needs, any general information on any lending issues or any lending solutions, always reach out to Ruben. He's a great guy and great lender, so they've been in the industry a long time, so local experts for sure. So our first deal here is going to be over in Fallbrook. It is in the left side area right below downtown Fallbrook. It is a 4-bed, 2.5 bath with a detached 318 square foot 1.1 ADU. It's sitting on a 1.15 acre lot, and it's got a 3-car garage, a pool, and a spa. It's a fairly cosmetic flip, even though it is fairly big with the square footage. So rehab will be a little bit more than your typical cosmetic, especially because of the amount of flooring, the amount of walls, the amount of exterior work you have to do. That being said, all the big ticket items for the most part are fine. I would always, like I always say, is allocate money into your roofing, into your HVAC, into your windows, all that. Even if they're good, just always make sure that is in the budget, because you never know with an as-is property what you could get yourself into. And this property is basically used as like a horse ranch stable farm. So it's got a barn with stalls, the wash bay, and then the little tack room to hang all of your gear for your horse riding. But overall, it's just a pretty straightforward flip. The only downside I would say is people look for land in Fallbrook for that price point. So 1.15 acres is a lot of land, but for Fallbrook, it might not be enough, especially if you're trying to have horses on it. And the other downside is just basically the exit point. Fallbrook kind of caps out at a certain rate, I would say between 1.1 and 1.3, in my opinion, depending on the area. So ARV can only get so high. So always take that into account when you're purchasing anything in Fallbrook, because you don't want to buy a property hoping you're going to make 1.5, 1.6 ARV, and then turns out you literally can't even go past like 1.3, 1.4. So I'd like to actually open up to you guys, kind of see what you guys think, poke holes in it, or what do you like about it?
Looks like it's got a lot of potential, Martin. Looks like it's got a lot of potential for a turnkey type of thing, or a potential, moderate flip to me.
Yeah, it'll work for both a conventional and an investment property, but highest and best use obviously would be for that investment fix and flip. But it has a few different avenues. You don't see too many ADU stuff on Fallbrook. It's really you go here to either retire or somebody wants to go here for the land. So, but that's always an option. But again, I'm not too familiar with the Fallbrook regulations. That's a completely different market than what I'm used to. But
yeah, for sure.
Crystal, Arnold, what do you guys think?
Go, Arnold.
Arnold, you're muted.
Yeah.
It's okay. A quick question for you, Martin. Are there any structural issues, anything that we should be aware of regarding this property that you came across when doing the inspection?
I would say the HVAC for sure should be replaced. It's not newer. It's like, I think it's 8-ish years old. I would fully just replace it based on the condition that it's kept in. The roof looks good, but again, there's a few places where you should reshingle it. But again, you don't know the wear and tear and the kind of upkeep they've kept on it. So I would always account for a new roof. And overall, all the windows, obviously double pane, new new rafters, all that. And then I'm pretty sure half of the house is missing the what are they called? The gutters. So I would include those as well into your estimate. But overall, title issues, none of that. Never will have any title issues with any of our properties, and any big red flags, water damage, foundation damage, none of that. We don't see or account for any of that. But again, if it comes up during the process, then we always have the option to kind of back out for our investor, because why would we push down on them and then lose a buyer and lose our credibility? So
yeah, sure.
Fantastic. Crystal, what are your feelings on this opportunity here?
Well, there's three things. So number one, people in Fallbrook are going out there for space, privacy, and also peace. You get that lower price point, kind of has that friendly village vibe. So you're lower price per acre, right? And you're 30 minutes from San Diego. So the other side of it is the equity and value add. So it can be an investment play, because zoning in certain areas will allow for ADU, potential multi-unit. So one of the best things too is you can buy low, you can improve the infrastructure, and then you can either refinance, rent, or sell at a higher level. The third thing is development potential. So you can subdivide or build additional structures. You could even turn this into a vineyard, some agricultural, like you said, some of them may work for a question. But I think that this house would be really great for, someone who wants to maybe do a small vineyard, or just really wants to enjoy the lifestyle. But you could flip this, make it a little more village style and inviting. Just depends.
Thank you, Crystal. Arnold, what would you think? What do you think about this opportunity here? Would you buy it and flip it, or would you buy it and hold it as a long-term rental, or do an Airbnb on it?
It's a buy and flip, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it being a horse property is it's really 1.1 1.5.
No.
I think I'd kind of reconfigure landscaping there. But again, I think Crystal hit on the point. Depending on what you can do with that property, right? Can we add other ADUs? What can we do with it? And then again, we hit on where that property is going to cap, right? So if that property is going to cap at 1.3, you only have so much room you can go and what you can do with that property. So you really have to be careful what you do with that property to really turn a good net profit on that. So, but it is a fix and flip in my opinion, 100%.
Exactly. Quick question for you, Martin. Martin, what do you think it's going to cost to actually rehab the place? What would be the minimum amount that you think that the investor would actually have to spend to get it at a level where they can actually flip it? And do you think people will actually make money on this? Because, like you said, Arnold, I mean, the gross profit right there is just the margin is just, yeah, it's very risky. What's your take?
Yeah, I would definitely say I would allocate between definitely a 6-figure rehab unless you have your team built out. But it really depends on what your exit strategy is going to be. It's getting it cheap enough and then making sure your ARV is spot on. One thing I will say about Fallbrook is comping is very hard to do because they're very spotty. So the person you're looking for to buy this is going to be a Fallbrook either native or someone who's done a lot in Fallbrook, because we can only get you the best comps we can in the area. It's really up to the local knowledge that you have, because we have ARV showing between 1.1 and 1.2, but we fortunately had comps that were kind of close by. But typically when we do anything in Fallbrook, we are stretching ourselves to pull ARV. So in that case, we have to, when we negotiate with our prices, we have to go way down, because even if you know the area, like the ARV is the biggest thing. And if it's not 100% solid, then obviously the deal's not going to be there for you. So
what was the purchase price again, Martin?
We had it initially at 900, but after like our quick overview of stuff, we're trying to push it out in the very low 800s and kind of go for a reduction. That being said, we don't know if we'll be able to get that across, but we know that realistically we need to be in that low 800s, and the seller is under that impression as well. It's just they're caught up on their Zestimate, so it's going to be a tough sell. But regardless, we're going to do our best to make sure that it works for whoever ends up buying this. So.
All right.
We all know spaghetti pot estimates are no fun in our world because they never match. But when I look at the land, I know somebody brought it up as a negative, but I actually see a huge positive. I'm looking at that owner occupied who wants to move into something like this, turn it into a horse ranch, do a 203K, and do their own sweat equity over time. Because truly, when you get to land and you own 10 to 20 acres, you have to maintain it. And the cost of maintaining that acreage can be a lot. I love Crystal's idea with the vineyard, but I saw those stables and that ADU, and I'm looking at it as like ranch hand. If I can add more ADU, I have income there. My ranch house becomes my castle, right? And developing your land could be a really good positive in Fallbrook. Not only that, you guys, those insurance costs. When I am insuring 20 to 30 acres, my costs are out the roof. But staying in underneath 2 acres to me is a positive for the right buyer. But I would totally run the owner occupied world on this one if I was the listing agent.
Yeah. And then, like Crystal kind of touched on earlier about the privacy of Fallbrook, people are really looking for, unless you're converting the whole thing into some sort of like ranch stable based property, there is a big lack of trees besides when you first drive up. So I would definitely account for that into your ARV. Is the almost lack of privacy from the lack of forest and foliage. But that being said, some people don't want their entire acreage covered in trees. But for the most part, if you want that privacy, you're looking for that kind of foresty landscaping that exists in Fallbrook.
Actually, I need to interrupt a little bit. We had a comment on Arnold's take on the property, and they agreed with you that it's better to just buy and flip. That was from one of our viewers. And any red flags that you see here, Martin? Anything additional? Landscaping. I mean, the cost of landscaping. I mean, it's probably going to be pretty significant. One of our viewers just mentioned that they're concerned about the landscaping costs.
Yeah, I would definitely allocate. So I would always do 2 separate things. So allocate your initial rehab, get your contractor out there and really see what you're going to cost. And then you got to decide what you're going to do with the land. Do you want to convert the exterior to be like a little backyard area for you and your family? are you going to go the horse route? Are you going to do something where you're going to end up building something on the land and you got to make sure it's flattened and cleared and permitted? So you really have to account for that. So it's going to be really different depending on per person. That being said, the only major red flags I would say are the condition of the HVAC and the lack of trees. For some people, that could be a red flag, as in I don't see the ARV being here because we value privacy, while others don't really. So
Perfect.
Hey, Martin,
John,
just
what's your last take on this opportunity, John?
yeah, Martin, just real quick, are there any issues with the foundation for this property at all, or no?
No, from what we've seen and from we were told and disclosed, there is no foundation issues.
Okay.
But again, if any of that ever arises, we either drop the property or we let you know so we can work a reduction if that's something you still want to take on.
Yeah.
While foundation issues are horrible and they're a pain to deal with, they are very good for getting reductions, especially if they weren't disclosed initially. If it's something that like you couldn't see or it took a while to find out about. But that being said, as always, people always allocate so much extra money for foundation issues because it could just be a crack, it could just be a slight raise, but you never know. Like could be a tree root pushing all the way down, and the next thing you know, your entire garage has to be redone because there's a tree root or something. So always make sure your contractor and whoever you're doing is out there with you and giving you their feedback and their pricing.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much, Martin. Thank you. And I've had experiences with a tree causing problems for your plumbing, right? They've actually literally had to go to the foundation, pull out the roots, pull out the tree, and it's a significant cost. That's why it's very important to have your contractors and your inspectors do the full inspection. That way you know what you're getting into. So thank you guys all so much for your insights, your feedback, your expertise. And our viewers, please reach out to these subject matter experts so that they can help you make possibly an offer on this property or any other properties that you want to buy and flip or buy and hold. These are your experts. So with that in mind, Nicole, are we ready to move on to the next segment of our show?
Let's move on to the fun and that teamwork and networking with Tracy with those learning local events.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Muted.
Hello, everybody. Let me try it again. Tracy Hassey, Super Connector, Tiger Escrow Services. This is the favorite part of the show for me as a Super Connector. But before we get into the LEARNin Local events, I want to thank our sponsor, Framework Accounting. Take it away.
Feeling overwhelmed with taxes and endless numbers? At Framework Accounting, we take the stress off your plate and bring clarity to your finances. From strategic tax planning that works to GAAP-compliant financial reporting, we've got you covered. Our streamlined bookkeeping and smart budgeting solutions give you the confidence to focus on what you do best, growing your business.
I'm a seasoned accountant, and I am a founder of my own company, Framework Accounting, and I'm helping individuals, families, and business owners make smart financial decisions, and especially when it comes to real estate. And I hope that I can help you guys break down affordability, tax implications, and anything about market that's financial related.
Framework Accounting. Simplifying the numbers, empowering your success.
Okay, so who's ready to network, connect, and put deals together at some hot events here in San Diego? So I'm going to roll through these events. We're going to be posting them in the comments after the show. So the first one we have here is a free home buying presentation. Get the scoop on credit, mortgages, and down payment. Ask real estate questions in a judgment-free zone. Network and learn. That is Friday tonight, October 24th, 5 to 7 p.m. at Felipe's Pizza Grotto in Kearny Mesa. And the next one we have here is how to start real estate investing. Learn how to start real estate investing around San Diego. It's a virtual class. It's a webinar for you as a beginner investor to get started, October 25th. And that is, we've got several dates here, actually, the 25th, the 27th, and the 30th, 5 to 7 p.m. from the comfort of your own home. And my favorite one of all, everybody here is going to be there. Everybody that's been on the show, it is our LEARNin Local October Mixer. This is where we're going to be connecting, collaborating, and creating deals, putting business together for all to prosper. That is this coming up Tuesday, October 28th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the beautiful, luxurious Park Hyatt Aviar Resort Golf Club and Spa. So you definitely want to be there. And then we also have on Thursday, October 30th, later next week, I love this one, estate planning nightmares, avoiding the scary mistakes that haunt families. And that is once again, Thursday, October 30th, 10 to 11. I think that should be AM. It says PM. So we're here to connect, collaborate, and prosper together. Anybody else have some events they want to share for this next week, this weekend? Actually, I do have one more. The caravans that are happening Tuesday through Friday here in San Diego. That is through the local associations. We have SDAR.com. PSAR, we have North and NSDCAR, and that's a hot way to connect with real-time person at the caravan meetings, and then do go out and check out some of these incredible properties that are for sale on the market and get a great broker preview. I know a lot of us here on the show, we go to them, and if you haven't, I highly recommend, if you do have any questions, feel free to give me a call.
So we also want to remind our viewers about our 6-week live real estate series from November 7th to December 19th.
We are here to connect, collaborate, and create for our communities, you guys. Get your phones out, download the school app, SKOOL if you can't find it. Those are my two handsome boys. You see them? Cool. It is an app. Download it, connect with us, be a part of the program. We are here to impact our communities and also talk to our communities. So everyone can join there. Let's move on next to our LEARNin Local Spotlight.
All right. Crystal, great to have you here. We're spotlighting you today.
Thanks for having me. Okay, I'm in the spotlight. Woo!
Absolutely. So yeah. I mean, we try to spotlight a subject matter expert and just give you some questions on who you are. We all want to get to know you as a person, not just professionally, because this is how people are going to connect with you. So the first question is, what makes your brokerage stand out in the San Diego market, and what's your competitive edge?
Yeah, thank you guys again for doing this, and it's fun to get to know all of each other on this platform. So I hope all of you can make it out to that mixer next week. So what makes our brokerage stand out is that we have luxury level service at every price point. So currently I'm working with a $12 million buyer, ex-San Diego Charger player, and just sold a $300,000 home here. Where? Ask me where. So we are where? Yeah. So right outside of Cherokee Point here, it's actually a sub-city of North Park, 92104. So we are the number 6 team in the world, and we're top 3 in San Diego. So we work with Zillow Showcase, and we help with listings to present them. We get 80% more views on our homes than any other brokerage. So because of our partnership with Zillow. So we've got the global power of EXP and our local boutique attention here.
That is awesome, Crystal. Who is your ideal client that you are working with, and how do you attract and how do you connect with them?
So it's all about building your relationships, right? That's really why we're number 3. I always joke that San Diego is like a big, small city. We're one person away from knowing someone. So our ideal client is everyone from first-time home buyer up to the luxury, right? Rancho Bernardo, La Jolla, but ultimately someone who really does want, and everyone says expertise, but you don't get to number 3 for no reason, right? And it's also about transparency. And with that, we get long-term clients. So we are looking for, like I said, first-time home buyers, and especially people who want to sell their homes. We have a huge philosophy of don't sell your house unless you really have to, if it makes financial sense. Do a 1031 exchange, right? So for those who really want to invest, that's who our ideal client is.
Fantastic. Thank you, Crystal. And so the next question is, how are you building your brand both online and in the local community?
Yeah, so through social media, a lot of it too is referrals. We have an incredible amount of testimonials and our star ratings. When you go online, I think that makes a really big difference, is other people actually showing us as the authority. When other people have a really good experience, as you know that, you can go to a restaurant multiple times and maybe the food isn't that best, but the experience and the quality is amazing. And so we can't necessarily always control the product, but we can make sure that you get an amazing product through your experience. And how are we building our brand? It's really just the authentic connection and getting results. We work really well. We close a lot of deals with real estate agents, and then we build and grow in the community. So we have YouTube, and you can find us online as well. Porchlight Realty.
Authenticity is so important, and trust, right? What systems and support do you provide to your agents to help them thrive?
So really for the real estate agents, all about their success and wealth. So I've been a business consultant. I have 5 one-year certifications in helping real estate agents. We also have a lot of mentors, right? So our company provides training for brand new agents all the way up to the very high-end luxury agents. So one of my personal friends, and she crushes it in Coronado, she just went pending on a $12 million deal herself. I think it was listed for 11 something on Alpine. And what we do is we provide the systems and the trainings and mentorship and coaching. But additionally, what I think is most important, in order for to create a lifestyle, to have a life worth living, we need to have multiple sources of income, and EXP provides that. So we have residual income, we have stocks, and other ways through supporting when we bring agents on and they're successful and they're selling real estate, then we get paid for those deals as well. So I've made a few $1,000s a month through that, and I have friends who are making a couple $100,000 through bringing agents and top teams in. So that's how we help support them.
Okay, perfect, Crystal. All right, Miss America, the very last question.
Oh, thank you.
Where do you see the Coronado market heading, and how is your team adapting?
The Coronado market, interestingly, normally luxury is about 12 to 24 months. And we're seeing if people are pricing appropriately, and actually the best marketing, you guys, and strategy is in the pricing. Realistically, like the way people are going to purchase homes and move it is the pricing. So I think in general, we're seeing in San Diego and kind of in the general market, people are getting more realistic about their pricing because interest rates are dropping. So whether you're in the luxury market and you want to sell, this is a good time. And also if you're first-time home buyer or investor, there's a lot of room and opportunity to negotiate and even buy down your rate more. So I think we're actually going to be coming into a more competitive market as these rates drop. I've been seeing multiple offers on properties and over the asking price.
And Tracy had a comment.
Well, I want to just applaud Crystal. I know she's a published author and she has a new book coming out. She's one of few in the industry that I have met that actually has written a book about the real estate industry. So do you want to, can you share anything about that?
Crystal?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Tracy. Okay, so yes, I'm about to publish my second book. My first book, corny title, but Winning in Real Estate, was kind of a buy and sell guide. And it was really my business card, you guys. I used it as a business card. I had it at open houses and I would send it to people before I listed their house. And I would say, don't sell your house, read my chapter on legacy. But I'm coming out with my second book called Bridging the Gap. It actually has Coronado Bridge on it and the San Diego skyline. And it's really just about how we can help you go from where you're at in your wealth and personally in your life to where you want to go. So thank you, Tracy. That's very kind of you.
Publishing as a published author myself, I know it can be a daunting task writing a book and putting it together and everything involved there. So congratulations.
All right. Well, gosh, everybody, this was a fantastic show today. Any last words? Any last takes on the show?
I always love coming on this show, Chris. I always learn a lot. It's always a great place to network. I always love being on here. It's always a great place to meet professionals such as yourselves. A great place to learn about what's going on in the real estate market. And I love coming on here, and it's always just a great conversation. And, you know, I love that we're educating our audience about real estate and everything in between.
Perfect. Arnold, what was your last takeaway?
I'm just happy to be here today. I appreciate you guys having me on today. There's a lot of good knowledge here. I hope I can continue to show up and be a part of this. This is absolutely amazing to me. That's what I take away from it. A lot of education here. I love it.
Fantastic. And Tracy, thank you so much for the events. Martin, for
Absolutely.
the off-market deals. I mean, who doesn't want to get a deal in real estate, especially with the high prices the way they are?
Yeah.
So it's always great to see you here. And Crystal, you did amazing.
Collaboration, you know, I think it's really the collaboration here,
Yes.
whether we're talking about any aspect of the industry. And that's why I love being part of this show, because we are collaborating and that keeps deals moving forward, communities growing. That's our philosophy at Tycor. And I always say teamwork makes the dream work. So let's keep dreaming and prosper together. Cheers to your success.
Perfect. And
Absolutely.
Nicole, your last takeaway?
Thank you to our viewers. I mean, it's been a pleasure co-hosting. That's a lot of fun for me too. Being here and just being a local knowledge base is an honor. And, you know, thank you to our local watchers. We look forward to bringing you more content to keep you here in our local sand and keep you abreast of everything that's going on.
All right, perfect. Well, again, viewers, these are your stars of real estate. These are all your subject matter experts that you need to reach out to during and after the show. They're going to guide you through the maze, the trials and tribulations of real estate, and make it a smoother experience for you. A great experience, like Crystal said. So thank you all so much for taking the time out of your busy day to be here with us, to be a part of LEARNin Local Live, an amazing and growing community. Don't miss out on being a part of our show. Thank you for watching. My name is Chris Astamara with Exchange Resources, and
that's a wrap.
TGIF.